Hi everyone, it's Anne here from Positively Papercraft, and I'm back with another 3D project which doesn't need any dies, and I hope you like it. Now it's probably going to be impossible to show you this because it's pretty big, but definitely head over to my blog, the link's under this video. You'll be able to see all the pictures there. This is going to be the tutorial of how to make it, and it's basically a sort of huge poinsettia plant with a really sort of real looking plant pot, which again, it doesn't need any dies at all. If you have poinsettia dies, go ahead and use them, but if you don't, I've got a template. Click under the video, you can download it and just cut them out yourself. So you know, it might look hard, it really isn't. A little bit time consuming, but I just think it's so cool. And you could use the pot for any kind of flowers, and as you can see, it's a really big pot. Now I have to say, I was completely inspired by a SVG cutting file. I saw a file on Pinterest and it was to buy this whole kit, and I thought, surely I'm gonna have a go at making something like that myself, and this is what I've done. So I hope you will stick around, watch the video, and then have a go at making your own. I think it would make a beautiful gift. It really is gorgeous. So stick around and I'll show you how to make it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful forever poinsettia plant. The first thing I think we're going to make is the poinsettias. Now I've made most of mine, which are here. Now, as I said, I have popped a template under this video. If you just click it, and it will open up, just print it off, cut out the flowers, and then just trace around them on your red card or whatever colour you're going to have them. So I do have some large poinsettia dies which I've just cut out, so I'm just going to show you how I shape them actually. But they're very similar to this. I have used some of them actually. Them were the ones that I cut out. So if you just go round like this, sort of shape it round a bone folder or something, and then excuse me, just take like a sort of little spongy mat or something, and then just press in like that, and then just build them up. And then what I did for the leaves at the bottom, it's actually just another one of the flowers. I just cut the largest one out, and again just sort of shaped it round like so, and just did the same thing. And that would be like the bottom, you know, like leaf. So I'm going to get on and shape these leaves, and then I will show you how I've sort of been putting mine together. Okay, so it's just something like that, and then I've got a hot glue gun, and I'm just going to dab just a bit of glue in the middle. And And then we just want to sort of come along and just poke a little hole all the way through the middle. And then depending what you want to use for your flower centers, I've got these like little polystyrene little centers on a little wire here, and I just sort of pop mine through like that. And then we need these to be on a stronger wire, so what I do is I just sort of add that under there like so. And I mean, you can sort of glue it together if you want to just put, say, like a very small amount of hot glue on. And you can also use skewers for this as well. You don't have to use wire. And then just get that like so, and then you can just glue it on there. Just for now, we're going to attach it with some florist's tape. I think the glue's dried actually. And then, yeah, that hasn't worked. Just get some florist's tape. Okay, so there is our flower done. Now I'm going to show you how to do the sort of little sprigs here. Up to now I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we need to make one more. These are really easy to make. So I've got just a kebab skewer here. And I've got a piece of green card, which I think it should be 11 3/4 in length. It is, and it's for nearly 3 inches in width. And I really recommend fringe scissors for this. And I'm just going to start to cut with my fringe scissors, and I'm probably leaving about 1 centimetre at the top. And then you just want to sort of pull the top of the card just round a bit, so you're giving it some shape. And then what I do is the bit that's going to be the top, like at the top of the skewer, I just take some scissors. So say this is going to be at the top, and I just sort of just cut the top bit on a bit of an angle like that, just so you tend to find that it gives it a bit more shape as it's starting at the top rather than just sticking right out. So that's that. Now another thing what I've been doing is, just so we don't have any, you know, like wood sticking through, I've just been putting some of the green tape on the kebab skewer first. Okay, so I think it's much better covering the skewer. So I'm just going to use wet glue for this. So take what will be the top. So this will obviously going to start off at the top, and we're basically just going to be pulling it really tight and just starting to, you know, wrap it all around. So I'm going to put glue on here, And then I'm just gonna get it stuck on there first. And then I'm just gonna start to, you know, you want to pull it pretty tight, but you want to also remember that it's paper, so it's not going to pull, you know, it's not going to stretch. You want quite a bit of glue on, and what I find is rather than just twisting it, I actually find if you sort of pull it and then wrap it around this, like do it this way, I find for me it seems to work better. I don't know why, I just feel like it does. And then you obviously want to let this dry a little bit. Then what I've been doing as well, again, is just getting some sticky tape, and then just at the bottom, just before the paper sort of ends, I've just been also securing it with some florist's tape as well. Just keeps it all, you know, tidy then, and sort of all as one, rather than just having a bit of paper sticking like that. This keeps it all together. And I mean, you don't have to take the tape all the way to the bottom. There we go. I think they look pretty cool. Now this is up to you, but as you can see, mine have got snow on them. I'm going to show you what I've been using for that. You can get loads of different sort of faux snow around. I've got quite a few, but I do love the SIZZIX expand paste. Now I can't be sort of bothered to get a brush and brush it on, so I am literally going to stick my finger in, and I just rub it around my fingers, and I just sort of smooth it on, because I do want quite a bit on, and I feel like it sort of coats a lot of it then. You can put as much or as little on as you like. There, and then now I know that it's, you know, it's all covered, rather than just brushing little bits on. So then you've just got to set that with your heat tool, and it will turn like all white snow. So I'm going to wash my hands and do that and then I'll be back. Okay, so there is the one I've just made. So as I said, I should have about 6 of these now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I also found these that I bought last year from the works, just some tiny little pine cones. And what I might actually do is just, you know, sort of glue a few onto the little sprigs here. I mean, you might already have some, you might have some lying around or know where some are, you know, so you can just use what you've got if you have any. Okay, there we go. I've added some of the little pine cones and some of the little white sort of little berry things. So I think they're pretty good from just being made out of paper. Now let's move on to the plant pot. So I've got, well, a couple of pieces of A4 red card here. I think we'll probably need both of them actually. Now you want to make yourself a little template. I've made one here. You need a piece of card which is 5 1/4 by 3 1/4. Now all you want to do is, with a pencil and a ruler, along the bottom on both sides you want to measure in 3/4 of an inch. Measure in 3/4 of an inch this way. See, you've got 2 little pencil lines there. From them pencil lines, just draw up to the top left corner, the top right hand corner. Cut this out with your scissors or paper trimmer template. Pop it on at the top. Basically just draw around it as neatly as you can. Just take your time. Okay, so I've drew around it there. Take it again, line it up perfectly, and it will start to tilt down, but that's absolutely fine. That's what we need really. So draw around it again. So it's twice now. Third time. Again, line it all up. And then you'll get it on a 4th time. Okay, that's what you'll have. The end one we will need to create, again, just a little tab like we've done with other boxes recently. Just create a little tab for it to join together. Now also along the bottom here, you really sort of want to be creating your own sort of little tabs here. So just extending it out a bit. This one you may just have to go in like that and like that. And I'm going to show you. So that's what you want to be doing. And we need to cut this out, but the box needs 6 sides, which is why I said we're going to need both pieces. We need to do it again, but just two layers here. So we've got the first one, and then just draw around it once more. So you've got 2. Again, you're going to want another tab, a glue tab, and then you're also going to want another one of them at the bottom. They're just going to be to glue it together, and they're going to be the base, and you're not going to see it anyway. So you need to cut these out exactly as they are. Just follow the pencil lines. I'll cut them out, I'll be back. Okay, I've cut them out exactly as they are, exactly as they were with the pencil lines. Now we obviously have to score every single one of these pencil lines. Before that, I want to show you what we're going to do with the bottom, where the 3 pencil marks are here. We just want to sort of cut either side. So we're just taking like a little triangle out. So one side of the pencil mark and then the other. And again, you'll end up with that. Same with this one, just in the middle of this one, either side, sorry, but you've only got one to do. So I would recommend scoring it now and then rubbing the pencil marks out. So if we get something to score it with. Alright, I have rubbed out the pencil marks and I've scored it and I've burnished them. So this, first of all, is going to get joined on here. So we need glue down here. I'm not gonna glue it together yet because we are gonna add some like decorative panels if you want to, so I'll show you how to do that. So it's glued together, and as you can see, when we do glue it together, it will be like a proper shaped plant pot, not just like a hexagon or a square. So if you want to decorate the front of them, I'll show you a little template you can make. Take a piece of card which is 3 by 5 inches this time. Along the bottom you just want to measure in 3/8 of an inch. Let me just get that right, I'm sure it's 3/8. It's not actually, it's 1/2 inch, or it's actually 5/8. Measure in 5/8 of an inch. So 5/8 of an inch from each side. Same again, draw up to the corners. Just cut that out like the last one, and it will give you a little template to make your decorative panels. Now I've decided I am going to have mine in this beautiful sort of red glitter card. Okay, so you're going to need 6 of them. So I'm going to have this on mine. So they should fit pretty well. So I'm going to glue them all on there and I'll be back. Okay, there's mine all stuck on. That is so pretty. So let's glue this together. So we won't glue down this glue tab here. And we are just going to join it together. And then it's sort of a hexagon-y shape, but obviously the top goes out like a proper pot. Now don't worry about the bottom, we will just have to make a little shape to cover that hole up. It's just where they weren't quite like a big round sort of, you know how pots have like as they come up and these sort of stick out a little bit. I want to create that so it looks sort of more realistic. So okay, so we've done that with our pot. We've got another bit to make for the pot. Now, you need 2 pieces of card. I've only got one here because I've already done one, which I'll show you in a minute. It needs to measure 10.5 inches by 2 7/8. On the long side, you were going to score at 3 1/4 inches. Then you're going to score at 6 1/2, and then 9 3/4. Okay, let me just check I've got that right. Nine 3/4. Yeah, that's right. So you're then going to turn it to the short side, then score at 3/4 of an inch, 1 inch, and 2 1/2 inches. Okay, and you should have that. As I said, I've done mine here, so you need 2. You need 2 pieces the same. Actually, I'm thinking, what's that, a tad longer? Yeah, it's probably more like, yeah, just keep it at that 10.5. So you're going to want some little pieces to decorate. These are 3 1/8 by 1 1/4 of an inch, and you'll need 6 because you need 3 for each part. Now we need to do a bit of trimming here. So you've got a bigger section, you've got 2 sections. This is going to be the bottom, so you need to completely remove these 2 little boxes here. Okay, then you've got 2 vertical score lines. You need to just cut up right to the second score line, so right up, and you want to cut a really good size sort of triangle out like that. Then turn it over. You want to cut just a little sort of triangle out of there. You're just cutting either side of the score line. Okay, and then you want to remove this little tiny rectangle here, so you will end up with that. And then you'll come along and you will glue your little bits down. I chose this sort of I think it's like a glittery felt, a white glitter felt, but I thought it would go really nice with the particle. That score section's a little bit bigger than that one, but don't worry about it. I'm just going to trim that down a bit. So what you want to do, obviously you need to fold on your score lines. You should have a little glue tab there and a glue tab there. All you want to do is pop glue on one of these here, and then you want to just glue it together. Make sure they are the correct way, so you've got, you know, 1 score section here and you've got 2 here, a tiny one and a bigger one. Make sure they're the same. Now when you glue these together, you're then going to need to come along with your scissors, because you see we haven't cut that bit there, so we need to just trim this here just to make it look like a triangle like the rest of them. And also the top, we just want to cut a little bit there as well. So we are now going to glue this together with the other tab. Okay, so glue that together, get it all lined up. The score lines should sort of run along with each other. Then again, we're going to need to do the same. Take a piece out of there and a piece out of there. Turn it round and we'll cut a bit off that one. So this is what we have. Now, how this is going to work is these bigger tabs here are going to have glue on them, and this is going to slot in here like that. So that is going to be, you know how I said plant pots have a sort of nice big top, and then these bits here will just fold down and they will be sort of the top of your pot, but we can pop a little bit of glue on them. So let me see, we need just get this right. Whoops. Yeah, so basically just pop glue down on all of these sides. Thought I'd drop them half. I mean, you can, if you don't feel comfortable putting it all on at the same time, you may be able to do one at a time. So can you see this is going to glue to here. You can use tape or it's actually really good size, this. Actually, I'm just going to leave them like that because we're going to get all of our foam and flowers in. For the bottom, I just plonked this down and I drew around the base. Cut it out with some scissors. That's the pot covered. That's really Christmassy. I love that. So that's the pot finished. Let me see, I have got just a let it snow sign, which I'm going to just be gluing on there when it's, well, in a minute before I get the flowers in actually. So I'm going to have this as the front, I think. Now I'm using some of this dry foam. Oh god, I hate this stuff, honestly. I hate it. I just need to get something to cut it with. Yeah, that'll do me. So I'm gonna hot glue them in. So I'm gonna clean this mess up and I'll be back. Okay, I've glued as much in as I can, and I'm now just basically gonna start popping these in and gluing them in, I suppose. So I may just pop them in first to see where I want them. I think I'll probably have them something like, I know it's really hard for you to see now because it's, you know, it's such a big sort of pot, but just pop them in where you're happy with. Then I'll start putting the flowers in and I'll come back and we'll fill it with some moss or something. Okay everyone, so I put all 5 of the poinsettias in. I put all 6 of the little sprigs. I know it's impossible for you to see because it's just so big, and I put some sort of moss in the bottom, and I have to say it's beautiful, and it is really large. Now I do think before I take the photographs I'm gonna make maybe another 3 of the sprigs and just pop them in, because I think some of it's a bit bare at the bottom. So maybe make about 9 sprigs, and I think 5 flowers is enough because they are quite big. But yeah, I hope you'll give this a go. I just think for card and paper and some glue and stuff, it looks pretty awesome, and the pot's just so cool. So yes, that is it. I will have all the info pictures on my blog. You can see it properly then. So yeah, thanks for watching. Take care and bye for now.